Are you ready to dive into the exciting world of 3D design? Welcome to Beginner Tips, your ultimate guide to mastering the fundamentals. From mastering path tracer to nailing selection techniques, we've got you covered. Learn the ins and outs of materials and perfect your export process with us. Unlock the secrets of 3D design with us. Get ready to elevate your skills to the next level. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for watching my videos. If you're new to this channel, click subscribe. Hey guys, so we're going to jump straight into it. We're going to head over to my small villa, which is on my RenderWrite Sketchfab account, which you can download for free. We're going to go up to the top left, select Preferences, under Edit. Here we have the settings menu with all the different options. We have Path Tracer, Probe, Sky Dome, Grass Fading, all that type of stuff in here. You can find the bulk of settings in there. VSync, etc. We're going to go up to quality now and select quality. Here we have the different types of qualities we can change: the shadow, view distance, effect, post-processing, textures, anti-aliasing, and point cloud. Yeah, you can go through and adjust these individually if you want to suit your PC to your performance. On the left hand side here we've got the bulk of the settings. As you can see, I've changed it to low. That's just a general settings change to change all the settings in one go. As you can see, I've put it back to ultra there. I'm just going to go back up to edit, click preferences. I'm going to go through each one of these now. We've got the path tracer settings. In here you'll find all the path tracing settings. Got graphic hardware support, probes resolution, so you can change the export resolution or viewport resolution for probes. Same with the Sky Dome. We've got grass fading, near, medium or far. We've got VSync. Under appearance we can change the interface scale, so that just changes the size of the user interface. If you prefer a larger user interface, you can change that. I prefer a smaller one, so around 75 or 100%. Now we're moving on to two-sided material. In this, we're going to show you how to enable a two-sided material. As you can see on this plant that we have, which I've downloaded from Sketchfab, there's the author there you can give credit to. So we're just going to choose the material picker. We're going to select the material of the plant. We're going to scroll down to MISC. We're going to select the MISC tab. Under MISC we have two-sided. If you just select two-sided, that will enable a two-sided material. So this works great for plants, or if your model comes in and it's a bowl per se and the inside of the bowl is see-through but the outside is visible, just enable two-sided and that would fix the issue. This is a common problem that even when I started using Twinmotion, is that you need to enable two-sided material. Most of the times my gutters would come in and they would be see-through, which wouldn't enable a shadow. So just enabling the two-sided fix that. Moving on to right click. So right click is just a basic one. If you're using the left click to select items, I'm just going to give you an example here. We're going to go to living room, chairs. I'm just going to select this chair here. So if we bring that in, we've got it selected. There's two ways of deselecting this chair. You can press escape, or you can press right click. It's as simple as that, just right click. So if you select a chair or an object, to deselect it, right click or escape. But I find right click works pretty easy. The same thing will work for the settings. So if we go to the settings here, and we're just going to click on focal length, for example, click that and we're going to change the focal length. Just right click to deselect that. So if you have the focal length selected and you want to deselect it, you can press enter, but you can also press right click and that will sort the issue. We're moving on to camera settings and lighting. So we have the camera tab selected on the right hand side. Once we have the camera tab selected, we're going to go to camera effects. So just click camera effects, and now if you scroll down to parallelism, if you select that, that will enable vertical lines. As you can see in the little box there, it explains what that does. So it makes lines, parallel lines, appear vertical. So this is a good thing in architecture. If you're creating an exterior, interior image, just to enable parallelism. Okay, we're going to move to environment, scroll down to the HDRI environment. We're just going to enable that. Once you enable that in Lumen, it takes a second for the lighting to adjust. Once you have the lighting adjusted, you can rotate. You can also increase the intensity. So that just increases the intensity of the skylight. Now if you scroll up to global lighting, if we just click the details for that, we've got sun intensity, sun size, ambient, white balance. I'm just going to increase the sun intensity to give you an example. I tried adjusting the sun size in the HDRI, but it doesn't seem to affect anything. So if you do this outside of the physical sun, it does make a difference. If you scroll down, we have ambient. This will increase the ambient light in your scene, as you can see in the example. And then we have white balance below that. So this will increase the white balance of your scene. You know, if you want the scene to be more whiter or, you know, more yellow, you can just adjust the white balance. Next we have path tracer. So I'm just going to run through the path tracing settings in this. We're going to go up to edit, preferences, also control P. We're going to go under the path tracer tab. I'm just going to show you how to change the generic settings for path tracer. So we have multi GPU, which you can enable. We have low preset, medium preset, and high preset. I've just changed mine already. They come in as high being 256 and medium being 64, I think. But I've just gone through and adjusted these to some settings just to increase the time it takes to render these images in path tracer, just as a preview. So right now I had it set to a higher number, but there you can see my presets now. If I click on low, medium, it's changed those presets from in settings. So as you can see, you can override those to change the Twinmotion path tracing settings. If you would like to override the path tracer settings for each image, you can go and click on the image, click on render, and then go to path tracer. Under quality, you can change the samples per pixel, bounces, and the settings there to make a high fidelity image, or just to increase the resolution and samples in your picture. Each project is different, so just suit it to your settings. Next up is material UVs. So in this video I'm just going to show you how to change the material UV option. So I've got a cube, sphere, and a cylinder here. I've just changed that to apply to object. If we go back up to these settings, we have replace material, apply to object, and apply to selection. So right now I'm just going to select this material and I'm going to apply it to this cube. I'm going to change the cubic settings to this cubic UV cylindrical UV and spherical UV, or from object UV. I'm going to change this to cubic UV for now, just because I'm applying this material to a cube. And then for this next object, I'm going to change this to a spherical UV. And in this next option, I'm going to change it to cylindrical UV. So this comes in handy when you import a object from, say, Sketchfab, and you need to apply it to a spherical object. Say you use the from object UV and it comes in, it doesn't look very great. You can change it to spherical UV, apply it to the spherical object, and it'll actually change the UV to suit better to the object. So if your UVs are looking weird, you can actually go up to that and change that option from object UV to cylindrical, spherical, or cubic. This is a very good help. Next we're going to have a look at the scene tree. So up on the top right hand side here we have our scene tree. We've got our scene. Under here we have our categories. So if we select that, we have all the different categories here which we can filter. Under here I've got all the objects that are in my scene. So here I can show you an example of selecting the categories. So this is just a good way to find specific objects in your scene, or vegetation, or particles. Up here we have ambience. So this option, you can change the ambience for your viewport. So whether you want to change the field of view, the render settings, you can do it in there. Under our scene graph here, we have our objects. So I'm just going to show you how to group these. So I've got my objects here. We're going to go to move to new container. This will create a new container which will store those objects in. So basically it groups them. I've just named that primitives, and I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to create a new container. I'm just going to name this I'm going to drag this into the objects folder. So as you can see, it's easy to create folders and to group objects together. I'm just going to place these two trees in here, just to give you another example. You can move these to a new container and call it vegetation. These two trees will now be in this container. So if you were to go and turn these containers off now, it will hide whatever is stored in those containers. So you can use these as group layers, etc. I'm just going to show you how to add now a object to the user library. I've imported this car, which is from the Sketchfab website. The links for these models will be in the description. So the user library, if you go to preferences, we're going to set the path for the user library. If we go to custom paths and select custom paths, we have all the different libraries that we can set here. So we've got our user library, which I have already set to my C drive. If I click OK, open my user library, I'm going to create a new folder in the user library. I'm going to rename it. We'll just call it test for now. Open that. Now on the right hand side, if we select our object that we have imported, if you right click that, scroll down to add to user library. This has now added it to your user library. So you can actually go ahead and delete this car out of the scene now and drag it back in, and it comes in with the materials that it had saved and stored. So this is a really helpful tool for saving a library of furniture or interior objects. Now we're moving on to export. So I'm just going to click on my image tab here. Output size. So we can go ahead here and we can change the output size from 2K to 4K to even 8K if we wanted, to even 16K if we wanted. But the 16K is grayed out here. What are we going to do about that? We're going to go down to details and enable tiled rendering. Tiled rendering will render the image beyond what the GPU can handle, but there's limitations to that. So if you hover over the tiled rendering, it brings up a little box here that says the quality of SSR, SSAO, GI, lens flare, all of that is affected. But we're not going to do that for now. We're just going to go back and select it to custom. In custom, you can change the resolution of the image to whatever you like. So this is good for creating Instagram posts or Facebook posts, or like if you want to get a specific resolution of an image, you can just go into there and change that. Now if we click on export down the bottom, we click on the plus sign where the image is. We've got our images in the media center here. So if I want to render one of these images, I'm just going to go and change the resolution. Let's go back to image. We click export down the bottom. We have image here. We're going to click the plus, which is going to bring up our media tab here. And now we're going to go and select the image that we have. We've got format. You can change the format from PNG to JPEG to EXR. Under details, if you click that, we have motion blur, which is used for animations and videos. We have refinement. We have off, low, medium, or high. This just increases the range of area used to create reflections beyond the viewport. I usually just set this to high, and then you just scroll down and click export. Then you're good to go. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe. Cheers.